Are you looking for something better than your mom's old spin bike? The No Fate channel? Checking in. Jonathan here, and the Xebex Air Cycle is a direct competitor to the Concept 2 Bike Erg and light years ahead of your traditional spin bike. But is it right for your home gym? What's the difference between a traditional spin bike and the Xebex Air Cycle? Well, a spin bike usually has a very heavy flywheel with magnetic resistances, and that works just fine, but ultimately you can build up momentum and frankly just cruise. With an air cycle, you have a dampener, and the resistance comes in the form of air. So you're able to adjust the opening of the dampener, and the harder you push, the faster you go, the more resistance you have. In terms of noise, spin bikes are quieter than an air cycle, but even at full throttle, this thing isn't that loud. Like a traditional spin bike, you can stand up on the Xebex Air Cycle and really dig into those rides. The only bit of caution is that if you are on a very low resistance setting and you slow down when you stand up, you are going to encounter dead air. So the smoothness of the pedal turnover is going to be a bit wonky for a few seconds until you finally speed back up. This dead air situation only happened to me once, and frankly, I was literally trying to reenact that specific scenario. It's never occurred during any of my rides. Traditional spin bikes come with a comfortable cup holder and a phone mount for when you're sitting back and binging your favorite Netflix video and just cruising. Well, the Air Cycle has neither of those, because when you get on this thing, it is work. You get on, you put your work in, you train hard, you have fun, and you get off. I will say, if you are dedicated to your phone and you want to have it on here, if you have a magnetic mount, it can go right on the front of the handlebars. And if you don't, like me, you can just put it horizontally on the front, and this Air Cycle is so sturdy, even when you're getting after it, it's not going to go anywhere. On a spin bike, you typically change your resistances up or down throughout your training. On the Xebex Air Cycle, you're much more likely to simply lock in your initial resistance and keep that throughout the entirety of your ride. Comfort is something that is often overlooked when it comes to cardio equipment. But if it's not comfortable, you're just not going to use it. Thankfully, the Xebex Air Cycle has a number of ways to really lock in your comfort and find that perfect Goldilocks zone. As far as the front handles, these can be adjusted in terms of height as well as depth for the rider. Now, the rear seat can be adjusted vertically as well as horizontally, and I will say that this seat is your typical spin bike seat. It has a decent amount of comfort, but if you really wanted to upgrade this to a different seat, you can. This is removable. I have found that these bucket pedals to be quite comfortable and provide a nice, snug fit. If you wanted to, and I honestly don't think it's necessary, but you could swap these out for spin pedals. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. The proceeds from those links do go to support future videos, as well as buying me new pretty dresses. When you use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. I've had the Xebex Smart Connect Air Cycle now for over a month and a half, and I easily have 30 workouts on this thing under my belt. And I will tell you, frankly, it is absolutely amazing, and I have fallen in love with it. Now, before I bought this thing, a number of my subscribers reached out and said I had to try it, that it's so much better than a spin bike, and it just hits different. And I didn't believe them, but they were absolutely correct. On a typical spin bike, you build up some momentum, you get going, and then you're able to kind of cruise. On this thing, you are working hard from second number one, and there is no cruising, because the harder you go, the harder the resistance. This thing is a total lower body workout, and you absolutely feel it in your legs when you get off this. Whether it's a short workout or a long one, you know you had a workout. What is the difference between the Xebex Echo Air Cycle and the Smart Connect Air Plus version? At face value, the cost of the Echo is $829 and the Smart Connect is $1229, but it goes beyond that. Your Echo version comes with your standard 10 air resistance settings for the dampener. Now the Smart Connect has this, but it also has 8 additional magnetic settings to really drive that resistance to the stratosphere. Now they both come with a beautifully bright color screen that's going to allow you to track almost anything you possibly can think of. Calories, distance, time, intervals, watts, RPMs, and heart rate. But the Smart Connect version does have a beefed up screen, and it allows you to connect third-party applications for those of you that love to track and record all of your workouts. The higher value between the two has to go to the Echo Air Cycle because it has what everyone's going to want to use at the lower price tag. Now, if you love to use third-party apps to log and track all of your training, and you're an absolute Lance Armstrong on the bike, you're probably going to want to go with the Smart Connect because it has those features and the 8 additional magnetic resistances. Now, a lot of you are probably comparing the Xebex Air Cycle to the Concept 2 Bike Erg, and I think we need to do a little bit of a head-to-head battle to help you realize which one's right for you. Fight! Now, the Concept 2 Bike Erg did come out first. It was ahead of the Xebex Air Cycle, but unfortunately, since its release date, they haven't made any updates to it. Now, the Concept 2 Bike Erg is a measly 68 pounds, and conversely, this thing comes in almost double at 127 pounds, and that weight is going to add not only more stability, but durability. As of today, the Bike Erg runs $1,100, and the Xebex Echo Air Cycle comes in at $829. Now, the Xebex Smart Connect Air Cycle, with the ability to connect third-party apps and the extra magnetic resistance, will run $1,229. I've been able to use both the Concept 2 Bike Erg and the Xebex Air Cycle. Clearly, my experience with the Air Cycle is more thorough. But I will tell you, even though they both seem extremely similar, the Xebex is much more sturdy. I liked the color monitor much better than the Concept 2. And a small feature on the Xebex that I liked better than the Concept 2 as well was the bucket pedals. This kind of allowed me to lock my foot in a lot more than the Concept 2 basic pedals. While the Concept 2 Bike Erg has been around longer than the Xebex Air Cycle, Xebex does deliver a solid warranty with 5 years on the frame and 2 years for parts. This isn't your mom's old spin bike. The Xebex Echo Air Cycle and the Air Plus Smart Connect deliver some serious leg-driven cardio. The extra weight and stability, as well as the lower cost of the Echo, make it a clear choice over the Concept 2 Bike Erg. Even the Air Plus Smart Connect has some solid reasons why you would choose it over the Bike Erg, with those increased resistance options and the ability to connect to third-party applications. This thing is more sturdy, has that 5-year warranty, and frankly, if you go on the website, which I'll link in the description, you will see that Xebex, though so many sales, it brings the Smart Connect price point down right in line with the Concept 2 Bike Erg. Now, this thing is gonna deliver some seriously grueling but fun workouts. If you wanna see more cardio equipment reviews, then check this video out. And if you made it this far, we're officially best friends like Mr. Beast and chocolate bars. Thanks for making it all the way to the end, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.